I realize that some of my viewers are Filipino, or a lot of my viewers are Filipino. My viewers. So I guess I just wanted to do a video on a couple of weird things that Filipinos do or believe in. I'll just have you know that it's also weird for me to do a video without my glasses, because I can barely see anything, but I think I look better on camera. You know, maybe I look better on camera. But yeah, 6 weird things that Filipinos do or believe. Number 1, the myth of Salabat. Now, for anyone who is not Filipino or doesn't know what Salabat is basically like this ginger juice, ginger tea. It's made with like ginger powder or natural ginger, and you steep it in hot water, and you're supposed to drink it during cold season. But the reason why I think it's weird that Filipinos believe in Salabat, in the benefit of Salabat, is because there's this myth that Salabat, or ginger juice or ginger tea, is supposed to somehow magically improve your singing voice. My mother would always tell me that whenever I would try to sing karaoke as a kid, or I would go to my singing lesson, she would always tell me, oh, drink Salabat, drink Salabat. You should always drink some Salabat, hot Salabat. It will keep your throat lubricate. Oh, and it will also make you sing higher. It will give you higher voice. And so me being a little kid, I believed my mom. And this proved to backfire on me. I think when I was doing like a local karaoke competition, and I was a little nervous. Sorry, there was a little beeping outside. I was a little nervous because I didn't warm up properly. So my mother made me drink some Salabat. I was supposed to sing a karaoke song for Beauty and the Beast, and my mother had me drink hot, scalding Salabat ginger juice right before I was going to sing. And let me tell you, when you drink a ginger juice, there's a lot of like, it's not like inflammation, but it's like, it's a very like rough sensation in your throat when you drink ginger juice. So my mother had me drink it, and needless to say, I lost that competition because I wasn't really able to sing well, because I was struggling to try to sing with the Salabat. So obviously I don't believe in Salabat as like a magical drink that will make your voice sound higher. But you know, I still drink it sometimes during like a cold, when I have a cold, or when it's flu season, because you know, it is nice when it's hot, but it's just like, I don't know, you're better off drinking water or tea if you're gonna sing. So yeah, Salabat, weird. Obsession number 2 is light skin. I don't understand why Filipinos are just, or any, like a lot of Asians actually, it's not just Filipinos, are obsessed with light skin. And especially like you'll see like there's like glass skin, like that's a really trendy thing, and like a lot of like K-pop bands, like the whole shiny glass skin that it looks like porcelain. My skin's not like that. My skin breaks out and it's sort of rough and oily. But yeah, Filipinos are really obsessed with like white and clear skin. If you ever go down to the Philippines and you go into like an SM or some mall there, you'll always see literally stacks of shelves of whitening lotion or skin clearing, acne clearing formula. I think Filipinos just have this obsession that like white or clearness or lighter skin equals better beauty or something. You know, you'll see a lot of like movie stars in Filipino culture that are maputi, which is basically like lighter skin. So yeah, I never understood that obsession with light skin. Tatlo, malas. That is just the weirdest obsession to me. I think a lot of different cultures, and it's not just Filipinos too, but like a lot of like ethnic cultures, maybe even Latinos can jump in here and say something. But a lot of cultures, especially Filipinos, they're very like superstitious, and they believe that certain things bring bad luck. And the word malas in Tagalog basically means something that brings bad luck. And Filipinos, we really believe in malas and bad luck and bad juju, bad energy. And you know, we're very superstitious as well as like religious about that. So like if someone gives us a weird vibe, we will say, oh, that person has malas. And like my mother would say that all the time, especially with some people. My mother's like, don't go with them, they have malas. But it's just like, you know, being very, very self-aware, self-conscious with being malas. Although there was this one funny time when I was younger and we moved houses. We didn't always live in a house. We lived in an apartment when I was younger. And we moved to this new apartment basically when I was 11 or 12. And there was this neighbor who was trying to be very, very friendly with my mom for some reason. And she literally knocked on our door and she said, hello, you must be the new neighbor. Hi, I am, let's call her Miriam. Miriam wasn't really her name, but it was basically Miriam. Hi, my name is Miriam. You must be my new neighbor. And my mother's always like, she's not the kind of mother that will, or woman that would trust people very, very easily. A lot of Asian mothers are very skeptical when someone tries to act friendly for no reason. And this neighbor was very strangely friendly. And, you know, she was bringing over this apple pie and said, oh, I was just in the neighborhood. I wanted to meet my new neighbors. And, you know, I heard your kids playing piano. I would love to drop by sometime. And my mother, being always superstitious, she's like, okay. You know, as the lady was leaving, she was like, oh, well, I hope you enjoy my apple pie. And I would love to see you again and catch up. And of course, after she left, my mother was like, oh, yeah, okay. And then she like she closed the door and I was there looking at my mother and I was looking at that pumpkin pie and it looked really, really good. It looked delicious. You know, I never saw a pumpkin pie that looked that delicious. And I wanted to eat it so bad, but my mother was like, don't eat that pumpkin pie. Wait, why do I keep saying apple? My mother's like, don't eat that pumpkin pie. And I'm like, why? It's just pumpkin pie, you know, it's not gonna harm you and it looks so tasty. My mom's like, don't eat it, it has malas. It has malas. If you eat it, you're bringing bad luck toward this house. I'm like, why does it have malas? And she's like, she's Mormon. Mormons have malas. And she's too friendly, you know. And so I couldn't, I had to throw away that pumpkin pie. And unfortunately, I couldn't get a slice because of malas. Number 4. What is number 4? It's been a long day. Oh, yeah, weight, fat shaming. Essentially, like if you can see me, I'm not skinny, I'm not maliit, okay? I'm a bigger girl. And Filipinos, they're very obsessed with staying fit, specifically staying skinny. We are very surface level sometimes, and we can be quite childish about that. You know, we'll make fun of fat people in our culture and it's kind of like brushed aside. So yeah, I never got the point why Filipinos are just so obsessed with making fun or alienating like chubbier people or people who are overweight or just plus size, you know. So I always found that kind of strange. And like if you ever go to a store in the Philippines, you'll see a lot of clothes are like made for smaller people. I remember I went to a store chain there called SM, and there's a lot of like SMs all around the Philippines. And if you go to their department stores, and I was there because like I needed to get a new bra, you know. I for some reason mine wasn't washed, so I needed a new bra, and I tried looking for one that was my size because I'm bigger. They didn't have my size. And the lady that was just there trying to help me out, she's like, yeah, we don't carry, sorry ma'am, we don't carry that size in our store. You're just really, really big, you know, maybe try the maternity section. Like, Filipinos will be straight up rude about it. They'll say that you look buntis or pregnant, and they'll say a bunch of other things, you know, like you have a large, thick, like moon face, you have a siopao face. Siopao is like a pork bun, you know. So yeah, they'll say that, you know, and other little names that they'll make you feel alienated. So I never got the point why Filipinos have, and a lot of other Asians, like I think in China now there's this whole like skinny challenge recently. Another thing that I find weird about Filipinos is our expectation of women, especially like there's this term in Tagalog that's called dilaga, basically like a young woman, sort of like a young lady, you know. My lola or my grandma would always say, you know, oh, you should always cross your legs, you know, keep your voice down because you are a dalaga, you are a lady, you are trying to be very respectful, you know. And I never understood why there was that pressure to be docile and soft-spoken as a woman as opposed to being, you know, a boy or lalaki. You know, I never understood why Filipinos are always so obsessed with keeping dalagas in their place. Number 6, I never understood the obsession with noses that are straight, like matangos, like long noses. Like me, I inherited my dad's nose. It's not like flat, but it's not like completely straight, you know. It's just it is what it is. I've often thought about getting a nose job, but you know, I'll be happy with this nose. But anyways, I never understood the Filipino obsession with like straight noses, and you'll see a lot of Filipinos like getting nose jobs to raise their nose bridge, or you know, just doing some weird stuff with their cartilage. Yeah, I just think that a lot of Filipinos want to be Eurocentric, want to have that Eurocentric like beauty and like white beauty. And you know, there's always girls that are trying to dye their hair blonde and speak with a very, very, very American accent, or do something that's kind of like fighting back from their own culture. So I never understood that obsession with the whole matangos thing. Yeah, explain that to me. Last but not least, I do not understand the Filipino obsession with putting down artists or musicians. Like Filipinos, I think Filipinos often have a weird relationship with what they think good music is. You'll see a lot of Filipinos trying to enter like singing competitions, like X Factor or America's Got Talent or American Idol or The Voice or something like that, because Filipinos love to do competitions, and we're kind of, our culture has it so ingrained that we're kind of used to singing those big Whitney Houston sort of anthems, Celine Dion anthems, you know, those really virtuosic belting pieces. And yeah, Filipinos are obsessed with entering singing competitions or beauty pageants, anything that has competition, you know. Maybe because we're that insecure. It's possible. But yeah, I never understood the Filipino obsession with putting down musicians, because like it's like if a parent has a kid that can't sing and can't do well in a vocal competition, then it's sort of like, you know, they don't see anything else. They don't see that that kid maybe has another kind of musical talent. Like maybe they can play a different instrument or do something else within the music industry. But no, parents don't. A lot of Filipino culture doesn't see that. They don't see, you know, the possibility that there are different jobs in music and different kinds of music to play. So, but yeah, I just always found it weird how Filipinos praise musicians, you know, but they don't really support musicians. And I think I think that's one thing that really like differentiates Filipinos from other Asians. Like, I don't really listen to K-pop. I mean, other than when my little cousin, tries to make me listen to BTS and other K-pop acts. But I don't really listen to K-pop, more of the top 40 material. But when I do listen to K-pop, and I do like see the whole K-pop genre and like music videos, I do have to hand it to a lot of like Korean musicians for being very innovative about that. And I like that about like other Asians too, is that other Asians like Chinese, Koreans, and even Japanese, you know, they're very, very innovative and future oriented, and you know, they're willing to take risks. And I really feel like that's something that's really saddening about a lot of Filipinos, is that, you know, we like the familiar too much. We like the familiar too much, and we won't really take risks. You know, we'd rather sing our Whitney Houston anthems rather than to, or we'd rather copy someone else rather than to chart our own path. Yeah, let me know if you guys found any of this relatable, if you're a Filipino or not. Again, I don't mean to offend anyone. This is just my opinion on what I find weird about Filipino culture, being Filipino myself. And, you know, I look forward to feedback. And yeah, I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So thank you so much for viewing my video, and I look forward to seeing you again.